Hello and welcome to the Slippy Limpets video. We're cod fishing. Just got my first bait in the water. Got about 2.5-3 hours until low tide. We're planning to fish down to the bottom and then a couple of hours up. Hopefully get a few fish on the shore. Just cast out, and just like last week, the sea is absolutely filled with weed. But I'm going to stay pretty mobile. There's nobody else on this beach tonight. There's an explanation for that. It's probably that there's a load of weed on it. But we're going to stay mobile and keep moving along. Quite a big low tide, so it's only 0.8 meters. And this beach pretty much empties out around then at this part. So I'm going to keep moving down the beach as conditions dictate, really. So first bait of squid and carp is in the water. Let's see what it brings. So just while we're waiting for that bait to soak and the first fish to come along, those who have followed my channel for a while might have noticed that I've been using some new equipment from a company called Relocating, or RVRC for short. Traditionally I've used all my old mountaineering kit, which since it's so old now is a bit long in the tooth, so I've been using this new stuff and I've been really impressed. I don't normally use things that I don't like. I don't get sponsored or given anything, so I bought this stuff, and the pants, which I've used on charter boats, I've used them fishing down with the fish locker on his boat, sharking. I've used them out in on the cliffs, used them on the rocks, I've used them on the beach, I've used them everywhere basically. Used them on Orkney in some terrible weather, and they're really decent. Good features like zips on vented zips and a water repellent coating on them, and they're really hard wearing. They're called the RVRC Nordwand Pro. My particular colour's in russet brown. And also got this jacket. It's really good for the price. I think £180, whereas my normal Gore-Tex is about £300. So yeah, really happy with it. Got pit zips, waterproof pockets, lots of nice little features. It's even got an avalanche or a search beacon attached to it. And because I liked it, and I've been using it for a while, I reached out to RVRC. They gave me a discount code to put on my channel, so that is live from today at their website, revolutionrace.co.uk. And it entitles to anyone who's seen this video for 15% off anything on their website, apart from sale items, I think. Promo code is Slippy Limpets 15, all in uppercase. But I'll leave a link. Just one point on the code, it's only valid for 5 days. So if you're watching this video after 5 days, then I'm sorry, it's not valid anymore. But yeah, Revolution Race, RVRC, good stuff. So tackle tonight, I've got an Anyfish Anywhere GB FS Pro Mark 1, which can chuck up to 200 grams or 7 ounces. Penn Battle 3 8000, which is the LC version or long cast, which means that it's got shallow spool, which is loaded or was loaded with 300 meters of Daiwa J-Braid, 79 pounds or 36 kilograms, I think, 80 pounds pretty much. Then I've got a breakaway casting cannon and Shakespeare Salt rod rest. It's pretty much my usual tackle. The crabs are out in force tonight. We still haven't had a frost. It's so mild. It's 14 degrees again when I left the car, and it's the 25th of October. So because of the crabs, I'm probably only going to leave my bait in the water for 10 minutes. Else I'll just be fishing blank or empty hooks, which obviously isn't any good. There's some weed on there. It's not too bad because the swell's not very big. You can deal with it, but look, whoa. I can still fish, Oh, there we go. I was just in the rocks. Telltale will be in a second when I, yeah, there we go. When the rig catches up with the floating weed mass. Well, I think this is a case of chopping my swivel off. There's my hooks. You can see what I mean. Totally stripped in 15 minutes. Oh, it's a southerly wind. So I think I'm at the north end of the beach, so I'm hoping if I keep moving south, then I'll find a nice clear patch. The problem is though, the further down the beach, because it's a northerly swell, I'm sheltered by a load of rocks here, so the further I move down the beach, the more swell there is, which means that this stuff becomes more of a pain. Right, let's get this out. You can see how manky the water is. We might actually need to just go to a new beach. Right, that's the next bait in the water. I'm going to give this 10 minutes, not 15, because it's just, I like a bit of colour in the water, but I can't imagine fish wanting to go and swim through that really fine stuff. I can just imagine it clogging up their gills and mouth and things, so 10 minutes, see what happens. If there's no bite, then we'll walk 100 metres down the beach, or if there's no clear patches, then let's just change location completely. Persevered 4 hours the other night, and it was it was rough. But at least I've got dry feet this time. Got rid of those crappy Vastex waders. Had 3 pairs in as many years, and they just keep failing. Waste of money. Great for washing down and everything, but waste of money. Oh, it's unhooked itself. Well, there's the first fish of the night. Not exactly the species we're after, but it's not a blank. So this fish must have had 7 or 8 goes at it before I managed to catch it. But I think I'll get this back and I'm going to move 100 yards down the beach. Big patch of boulders here. I'm hoping they've been catching all the weed. And the other side is clear. Yeah, it's looking good. Looking good. Right, there's my marker on the shore. Let's have a truck here. So, got 4-row Sakuma Manta as my pennel today, and then sticking this beast on. So the shoreline's clear. I'm hoping the rest of it is as well. It's going to be rocks somewhere, so just go out a bit gingerly because it's a great colour in the water. I don't want to fall in the water. Oh, here's a set. That'll do. There we go. It feels fishy, this. Water's nice and coloured. There's good swell, a little bit of swell running, and doesn't seem to be any weed at all. Hopefully there's none further out. So those big patch of boulders in the middle, GoPro battery, just seemed like a weed guard really. So loads of carp in this, big squid. Got it as far out as I can. It doesn't have to go too far though in this place. I think I might get the target species on this one. Coley rattle there. I can feel the crabs swinging around on this. I'm sure the fish are just coming and picking the crabs off. Fished a few days ago, but I didn't film it. The lads I was fishing with were fishing a match, so they were keeping the fish, and every fish that got knocked on the head spat out a load of hardbacks. So they're definitely still feeding on the crab because it's so mild. And you saw the state of my bait earlier, or the lack of bait. After 15 minutes, the whole squid had gone. So, pretty sure fish are just picking the crabs off. Oh, that was a bite and a half.
Did you see that?
That was a cracker. That wasn't a coley. Oh, I've got it. Don't think it was a fish that head shakes. Can't get it on the surface. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes. So cool. So there we go. First cut of the night, probably 45 centimeters, about £1.5, £2. What a bite the first one was. I don't know if it was this fish that did that, but yeah. There you go, son. I was just starting to doubt myself there. I was thinking, oh, it's been like 15 minutes. Yes, they're here. Game on. Time to get another bait in the water. And no weed either. Oh, it's the best news I've had all day. Just stab holes in the bottom just to let the air out when you shove the cart in, so it doesn't just squeeze out the top. Got to thank Billy's shop in North Shields, Billy's Tackle in North Shields, for this good quality cart. Cheers, Billy. There we go. Oh no. Same happened last week. Low tide, weed appears. Just after I catch one fish. It's just in the shoreline, I think. Bugger. Oh, I've got a tip wrapper on the bloody light. Oh, we'll have to try that again. In too much of a hurry, I normally check. Make sure that I don't have a tip wrap. Oh, there's the sandbar out there. See the waves breaking. You might not be able to, but I can't. Oh, it's done it again. Oh, the tape's coming off, that's why. Well, that wasn't easy. Tip wrap, have to cast again and get another tip wrap. The tape's, amalgamating tape's starting to come off my light tip light. I do have some spare, so if it happens again, or maybe on the next cast I'll re-whip it. Feels really fishy. The water's like chocolate, a little bit of swell. You can see the sandbar where I want to cast over, or in front of either side of it, just not on top. Yeah, another big carton, or not big, but carton squid bait out there. Hopefully get another bite like the last one, because that was a cracker. Hopefully that weed's just inshore. There was absolutely none when I waded out for my first cast at this place on the beach. Oh, the rod's bending over like it's got weed on it. Same thing happened to us in the previous session. Got one fish and then completely weeded up. At least the swell isn't huge, so hopefully it's manageable. That was a good bite. Come back. Oh. Missed it. Damn. My rotten bottoms come off. Your leads come off. Oh, I'm gonna have to wind that in. Oh. Is it? Yeah, feels like it. Damn it! Oh no, it hasn't. Is that weed or is that a fish? Oh, it's a fish. God, I thought my lead had come off. Must have been a fish swimming around. Probably the same size as the last one. Oh. You ever just picked up weed or it's just grown inside? Oh, there it is. So I got a good hit from this wee fella. Lost my lead and I thought I couldn't feel any weight, so I just thought that my line was floating around in the water. Actually, the fish was swimming around, and when I decided to bring it back in, there was a fish on it. Very, very strange occurrence. Fish, second one. I thought at slack water it would die off, but that was 5 minutes before that bite. Get in! Now I always throw my lead away like that. If you keep tension on the snood, then it just makes it way easier to bait up. There we go, a little weird bulbous thing, chubby one. So this rig is this rig that I always use pretty much. Pennel Paternoster, nothing complicated. Make them myself with 80-pound rig body because I'm casting a 7-ounce lead. 30-pound snood. Basically, it's just a crimp, bead, swivel, bead, crimp, and then a clip. And at the bottom I've got a Gemini Solo Splashdown, which is my favourite bait clip because it means you don't have to fart around getting your snood the right length. Change the length of your snood. I like when it's flat or calm, I like to have a longer snood so the bait's kind of planted on the deck and the fish is going to feel less resistance. And if it's rough, then I'll have a shorter snood and a shorter rig body actually, so it doesn't get tangled up. See the waves breaking in front of us. And that's the reef that I want. I said it was a sandbar earlier, but it's not, it's a reef. You cast over it, but it's difficult to get your fish and your gear back. So I like to try and just plonk in front of it. And there we go. Next bait in the water. Fourth bait. and it is 10 to 10, so we are passing hopefully slack water. Well, last year I didn't have much joy on the flood, but this year seems the patterns seem different, so I don't normally get fish on slack. We've had one right at the bottom and one on slack, so maybe this year they might bite on the flood, who knows? We'll soon find out. Yes. Hey. That was a subtle little bite. Sort of kind of evolving really. Oh, must have found the weed. Yeah, there it is on the line. Where are you, little fella? Stuck in a mat of weed. There we go. Probably the same size as my first one, but he's a lot fatter. Let's get it back. So the weed has picked up, or I've just found it. It's probably coming in with a tide and a stronger southeasterly breeze that's coming in, but completely manageable. And it doesn't seem to be putting the fish off either, so as I said before, game on and let's get another bait in. So this bait is the same as usual, carp and squid, but I've stuck a frozen black on as well, just for some extra attracting. But when I went to cast, I've just seen my tip light shoot off out into the distance. So luckily I've got a spare chemical one, but it's my only one. And they're notorious for coming off, and obviously it's nowhere near as bright as the battery powered one, so you can probably just see a little green thing up there. Yeah, sorry, there's not much I can do about it really, but hopefully you can still see that one. It should get brighter as the isotopes react. Isotopes? Whatever's in there reacts. Yeah. Tide started pushing now. I've just moved up the beach a little way. There's a fair bit of weed in the water. My rod's bending already, but as I've said a few times tonight, because of the swell, or the lack of it, it's pretty manageable. Can we get another fish on this cast? This is the 6th cast. We've had 4 fish. Whoa, God. That didn't take long at all. It was a good bite as well. Come on, come back, fish. Come on, that was a full-on cod knot, that. Gotta come back. No, doesn't want to. Can't imagine it had its fill. Well, I've got a sneaking suspicion that I may have cast too far, which is something I'd never say normally. But I got some weird action on the rod tip and it doesn't feel like weed, so I may have gone right over the top of the reef that I mentioned earlier, and the kind of leads hanging on the far side. means it's going to be a struggle to get it back intact, I think. Either a change of hooks will be required or a new lead or both. Unless I can get a fish to come and lift us out of it over the top. Ooh. Well, that was the final cast. Bringing in that weed and the wind picking up was enough for us, really. It's 10 to midnight, so it's not been a bad little session. Could have been some bigger fish, but after my last session, I'm not going to complain. I mean, 5-6 casts and 4 or 5 fish, can't remember, but yeah, great sport, and just nice to be out as ever. Oh, I got proper hat head. Yeah, great sport, nice to be out. You know, in not great conditions, but doesn't really matter. I caught some fish, had to move around a little bit, but I kind of knew that that was going to happen, or needed to happen. It did die as the flood started coming, which I was hoping it wasn't going to, because it was pretty active at the just at the beginning of the flood and slack water. But yeah, it is what it is. I really enjoyed myself, and I hope you did too. Don't forget about the discount code for RVRC or Revolution Race. I put all the details in the description below, the code and a link to the website. I don't get anything for it. It's just something that I can kind of give back to you, really, I guess, if anyone's interested in it. The kit is, like I said, it's really good for the price, and I know there's a load of bushcraft YouTube channels that use it. One of the bigger ones, I think, is called Joe Robinette. He's got, like, I don't know, 2 million subscribers or something, but he's in Canada and he goes out in the winter and he uses it. I think he might actually distribute it over there, so it's got a good pedigree. And yeah, there's 15% discount code for anyone who's interested. Please leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and give it a thumbs up as well. And until the next one, as always, tight lines. And the weed up the other side, so that's my microphone in the water. Not very waterproof.